Hello everyone and welcome to a new Dead by Daylight video. Today, I want to make a sort of different kind of video because I want to go with the analysis and feedback of the 9.1.0 PTB. As many of you know, I prefer to go for the last day possible to give the feedback because you can see more things during the whole week, you can see the test of other people, you can do more tests if you feel like it, in comparison to what you do during the first day of test. I think that in this way, you can give a more complete feedback, and I'm gonna go in the really big details about that. But also I want to add some consideration about the game in general, because there are some things that after the release of Five Nights at Freddy's that had to be the biggest release ever, the chapter that will make Dead by Daylight take another step forward to become bigger, noticing some issues, a lack of attention to details that a game that wants to become bigger has to have, is a bit concerning. I'm not gonna go super deep about balancement. Balancement is always a topic that is complicated to have in Dead by Daylight, because if you say that something can be problematic, someone else is gonna tell you, but this is not problematic because you have this on the other side, and then at the end it becomes a sort of race of what's the biggest problematic things instead of trying to address all the problematic things. But you know me, I don't care about this stuff. I go for what can be problematic in a case or in another case. So we are going to look into the PTB. But before going for it, I want to make an example of what I mean with lack of attention to details. This is gonna be a video where the title is gonna make people say, "Oh, but you are overcritic." They are trying their best. I know, for some cases, I think that we are a bit scared of moving critics to this game. I don't know, but at the same time, I don't know. It's there is a sort of a wave where sometimes people go overcritic over some stuff, and other times, if you move some critics, people are going to be, you are going to hard on the game. I think that we have to be objective. It's a bit I take the example of my mother with me. You want to give your best advice to your loved ones to make them grow up as better as they can, you know? And I think that only being super critics, or only being condescending, giving only love without moving a single critic, I think that both of these are bad approaches. So I prefer to go. Speaking of what I think is problematic at the moment, because there are good things, and I'm gonna say the good things, but also there are some things that I think are problematic. For example, this is gonna be something that people are going to be "Oh, but this is not the biggest problem in the game because the game has big problems of balancement, etc., etc." Then you go in that loop of what's the most problematic perks, the most problematic killer, and stuff like that. But for me, this is one of those things that I consider a problem of not putting attention to details. For example, the new Addy cosmetic got released this week, not this week, the previous week, and the skirt has problems of clipping. You're going to be is this your big problem? And it's not a super big problem, but it's a skirt that people buy with money. And this is if you sell something that is broken, I think it's a problem. And this is happening too often with cosmetics. The axe of the new Hunter skin can be considered a blocking part of the screen. I don't think it's so big, to be honest, but it's still pay to lose in comparison to other cosmetics. This happened with the Slinger cosmetics in the past, where you couldn't see where you were aiming, and there were also important critics from BIPOC content creators about the hairstyle of Elodie that is not respecting black hair, like black people hair. And like at this point, we don't even know if these cosmetics are going to have the never-ending problem of like the Jane cosmetics. Like if you don't know, like Jane cosmetics really often have like the main example is this. Like here you don't see this because this shirt is long enough, but like already here, like you can see that there is this sort of line, and it's an invisible waistline, like it happens so often with Jason stuff. This is happening also with this, like here you notice it a bit less in the lobby, but in game, like the invisible waistline is really big. Like you can be like, okay, it's just cosmetic, who cares, but I repeat, like these are cosmetics they sell, and even if you don't use the money to buy these, but like you use the shirts, like these are shirts that you green for. And like, I don't think that a game that wants to become bigger should have even this kind of little problems. But like, if you let many little problems being a thing, like this becomes like a lot of bugs. Like bugs, literally bugs. Like if you have only one flyer going around you, like you are able to ignore it or like try to take out of the window, you know. But like, if you already have 5 flies around you, like it becomes annoying. You know what I mean? And also, you should maybe start to do your room in that case. And I think it can be the case of Dead by Daylight. Like they have to start cleaning all these little glitches and these bugs. I wanted to start with this minimum thing because, like, it's a little problem that is happening a bit too often with cosmetics in Dead by Daylight. And now I want to go with the next PTB. Like, this is a patch note. These are the patch notes of the next chapter. Like, we are going to have the Walking Dead survivors. This should bring in many more people into the game, like following the hype of Five Nights at Freddy's. And there was already something that I think is another problem of lack of attention to details that I repeat, like details for me are important. Like Mission wasn't playable in the PTB. You can be like, okay, but the important thing is that she's gonna be playable in the full game. But like it's a PTB where the big content is basically these 2 survivors, and I cannot try one of these 2 survivors because it's bugged. Like, then why not take your time to release the PTB in a condition where I can try this other survivor? Like, why is this other survivor not playable in the PTB? Like, I know it's a minimum thing. Like, at the end, like, you should try balancement and all these kind of things in a PTB. But, like, this is your showcase of the next content in the game. And like, one of these 2 contents is not playable. Like, I know that survivors are just skins, like, I know it perfectly. But at the same time, like, it's a bad presentation card. This is what I mean. Like, I think that Dead by Daylight, like, there is this idea that I hope for them that they become bigger. Like, they want to become bigger. But at the same time, like, they feel like it's fine to have these little problems and not caring about the presentation. Like, I'm someone who studied communication, who worked in PRs, and like, for me, the presentation is everything. Like, the first idea that you have something. And if the Dead by Daylight community is used to it, I don't know, like, I'll let you judge if you do the right thing or the bad thing. Like, the new people know. Like, imagine you are at the Walking Dead fan, you want to try this new content. I know that you should have the game, but technically, maybe if you heard of this content, like, you can buy the game to try this content and see, oh, okay, this is what I want to try. Also, because the game right now, during the anniversary, like, is even on sale. Like, it's easier to get the game. And mission wasn't playable. Like I don't know. Like I know, like it's just cosmetic in the case of the survivors, but whatever. Like I repeat, like I think that DBD should pay more attention to these little things because at the end, like one little thing is a little thing, but many little things do like the whole idea that we have something. Also, some cosmetics they said were bugged, but actually were oversold. The pants of Rick, I think they wrote it in the patch notes at the end. Sorry if I struggle at going down, but I have problems with the wheel of the mouse. So, Rick last day on Earth outfit uses the same pants as his default outfit. This is not intended with be resolved. At the same time, like if you look at the pants in the PTB, like first of all, like you are giving me an idea of what the cosmetics are. At this point, I just don't show it, like if the cosmetic is bugged. And second point, like the cosmetic looked a bit different, but because like it was intended, like I think it's a problem. They realized that with time before the release of the PTB that they couldn't sell those pants again, and like okay, let's rework this. At the same time, like if you use that jacket of that cosmetic with the pants of the base cosmetic, like you're gonna have another clipping issue, and like we come back to the problem of like you are selling me cosmetics that are expensive, and like in the case of Last Sense of the Survivors, like these rarely on sale, and like have clipping issues, and like I think that at the moment like is I'm gonna go direct, like not acceptable, because like you're selling this stuff, like people are gonna pay for this, like having a working cosmetic, like I think it's part of the experience. If you buy for that cosmetic, like it's not even a free cosmetic, but even if it's a free cosmetic, like it should work. You know what I mean? We spoke of cosmetic at the moment. Let's analyze the new content and the reworked stuff, because like there are problems and good things in my opinion. Like the design of the two survivors, three survivors, if you consider the Daryl Dixon legendary skin for Rick, is amazing. Like also Rick and Daryl are voiced by the two actors, Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus. That's cool. Michonne couldn't be voiced by Danai. I think it was a conflict in the schedule of the actress, because like the visual of the character actually reflects the actress. Like she really looks like the actress, and it's even one of the best models in the game. It's sad that we couldn't see it in game. So let's look at what they bring to the game. Ricky Rines brings basically, after unlocking Rumaging through 2 chests, press the ability button 1 for 8 seconds next to a broken pallet to build a fragile pallet. You see the walls of broken pallets between 24, 28 to 32 meters. Fragile pallets are destroyed after being dropped. Basically, if you play the anniversary event, like it's like the anniversary pallets, like fun to use, but of course, like you have to be kind of skilled at playing around these, and the killer doesn't have to have enduring. And yeah, like it's a fun perk, not super strong, but in the hands of good players or players who are more on the fun side of the community, like it can be a decent perk. New perk, Come and Get Me. This is, in my opinion, one of my favorite perks of this PTB, like not mayor, speaking of it. After unlocking a survivor, like the only thing I will change is the activation condition, because it activates only after unlocking a survivor, and basically when you do something like this against more experienced killers, and it already happened in the PTB, like it can be a hook trade, and in that case, like you don't want, or like you cannot get the attention of a killer over your teammate, because like at that point, like you are at risk of timing as well. So after unlocking survival, crouched and idle, press the ability button 1 to make it injured and die survival within 24 meters and leave no scratch marks or pools of blood for 15 seconds. You scream the killer sits for 5 seconds. Like, I think the idea is cool, but I think that the activation condition is the worst activation condition for an anti-tunnel perk, or at least an anti-tunnel perk that brings the attention to you. So I think that I will change only that. Maybe I will make it on healing, staying in the terror radius of a killer, like whatever, but not after unlocking, because like I repeat, in many cases, like in real games, like the one who goes for the nuke is gonna hook trade, and like in that case, like you don't really want to use a perk that brings attention to you, because like you are at the risk of getting tired as well. New perk, Teamwork 2 Ven up. When another survivor pulse stancer blends the killer while you're injured and within 24 meters, your guns of pain, scratch marks, and pulse of blood are released. Like, this is not a super strong perk, but I think it's a fun perk. Like, I think it's fine. Like, I will keep it as it is. Mission Grinds, a new perk conviction. This is already one of... I think it's the most problematic perk of this PTB, to be honest. Because many are speaking of last stand, and I can see some problems behind it, but I think that conviction is a lot stronger. The only thing is that conviction is gonna be one of those perks that are, first of all, really strong in SWF. Second point is strong in combo with the stuff like Soul Guard mainly. It worked even with Plot Twist, like thanks to Slender, so that it shouldn't work with Plot Twist, because like Plot Twist got deactivated with Unbreakable, for example, so I think that it was a bug in the PTB. But like whatever, even if you use it alone or just with Solgar, like this perk basically says that after you had healed one survivor while down and with at least a 25% recovery, press ability button 2 to recover instantly. You gain broken, then are down again after 30 seconds. This perk has the potential of being problematic, but only in good hands, because like what's the best strength of this perk? Like going down under a pallet basically makes you unpickable if there is a teammate close to you. And then once that you pick yourself up, if during these 30 seconds you are able, for example, to take the killer far from the Trigen area to another area where they have no goals to protect, like the perk already got its value. Because even if the killer chooses to come for you, like, or even if they ignore you, like you're not hookable, and like that's basically lost pressure by killer. Like that's basically the main strategy in a scenario that is not like a really strong combo or stuff like that, you know? Also, the perk is rechargeable, like you just need to heal another survivor, and yeah, it can be used in combo with stuff like Nomider, so you can pick yourself up again. Like Nomider, we know that is a really complex perk, because like the downside is huge, but at the same time, like if you are a good survivor and like you can play safe enough, like Nomider, and especially if you have teammates close to you, like Nomider can be really strong. And with this perk, like Nomider can be a lot stronger, thinking about it, because Nomider doesn't get deactivated once that you pick yourself up with it. Maybe it can be used in combo with Exponential, like you can take the Boon perk far from the Trigen area and like going down in the Boon Exponential area. Like it does a lot of good synergy with a lot of stuff, and I repeat, even without all of this stuff, like just taking that advantage to go die far from the Trigen, like is already a lot of pressure on the kill. Like it's a perk that is going to be used a lot in some way friend, because like they can put the pressure around the pallet to force the killer picking up or at leaving you down. Like it's another of those perks that is gonna create a lose-lose situation just for existing. Like and I think that this is maybe the most problematic perk of the PTB. Because the other problematic perk of the PTB, at least considered by the community, is last stand. That after 60 seconds of sitting in the terror radius of the killer, when you fast vault on the killer, basically you can stun them for 3 seconds if they are within 2.5 meters. Then this perk is disabled for the rest of the trial. Like, I think that the line, that line, like, basically is the key to understand why this perk, in my opinion, is not gonna be played a lot. But at the same time, like, I watched a video on Twitter by Afro1, where Last Stand creates a sort of finesse. So the animation of the vaulting is faster. And like, even if you don't stun the killer, it's even better because like you're gonna have a finesse, but working also while you're injured, you know. So I think that this perk can be interesting. Some people say it's problematic because like you can save a teammate with a fast vault. Like, I think that's really easy to fix, like by adding a condition of the killer has to be in chase to be stunned. So I think that's the main problem of that perk, to be honest, because for the rest, like, even if you get the stun, it's once per trial, and like, that's the thing. I don't know. It being a strong perk, in my opinion, is fine. Like, maybe the fast vault save is a little problem, because even one save can be game changer for the outcome of the killer. But at the same time, like, if they address that part with maybe you have to be in chase with the survivor to actually be stunned, like, I think that you can solve this. I don't know, like, because for many things I think that it's fine. Like, I think that the main problem is the save, to be honest. Then the perk lasts once per trial, and you know, not a lot of people want a perk that basically stuns the killer once and then you're done for the whole game. The last perk of Mission, instead, in my opinion, is one of the most useless perks in the game. Because when you pulse stun or blind the killer, other injured survivors within 24 minutes gain endurance and see the killer aura for 10 seconds. Like, I think that maybe seeing the killer aura is fine, but that endurance I think is so unnecessary, if not useless. Because if the killer is pallet stunned or blinded, like, having endurance, like, basically it means that this player has technically 7 seconds of advantage for that endurance, like, you have to kind of force it. Instead of making the player playing smart and kind of take advantage of that stun of the teammate to go away. I will change it to a condition similar to the Rick grind perk, like hiding the grants of pain and scratch marks and pools of blood. Like, I think it will make it a lot better anti-tunnel perk and a lot more useful perk to protect the injured teammates. Like, I would prefer it a lot, but like, giving endurance, I think that some people are scared of that, but in my opinion, it's like the most useless part of this perk. Like, I don't think it's a good perk at all. Like, these are my 2 cents. Like, because if the killer is stunned, like, unless they are nurse or blight, but like they are just nurse and blight, like, I think that it should be a thing. Executioner, like, here I'm going to go really fast with the thing. Like, there are a lot of changes of numbers, like they increased the range, they increased the maximum duration of when you put the blade down to actually go for a hit. They decreased the movement speed, so like the free zoning situation should be a bit addressed. I don't think too much, but like, it should be a bit better. That's another important thing, like they added the pre-buffering. I'm gonna speak of this later, because this is not a thing only of Pyramid and the other killers in the PTB, but basically they did it with every killer. And also they added the base ace and endurance for 10 seconds to the cages. Increase blood point score for rescue survival from a cage as well. Then there are a lot of changes to the add-ons. I think that the 2 add-ons, 3-4 add-ons are a bit overtuned. Like, I think that giving aura reading on both hit and misses, like with the power, like, is too much. Like with a killer like execution, because like he can shoot through full walls. So giving a free wall luck, like in any case, like I think is oppressive. I don't think that the add-on that allows to break a pallet with the power of pyramid should be a thing, because like that creates even more free zoning situations. Like lately they are going a lot with add-ons that break pallets with the M2, and like I don't think it should be a thing. They added the cooldown, that's true, but like I think that it's not a good idea to have an add-on like this. This one instead increases the range a lot. That can sound scary, but at the same time, like, I think it's reactable in some situation. Like, you have to be a really good sniper, because, like, the traveling time of the project is not instant. Like, it's not like a hit scan or stuff like that. And it's not even fast as the base power. Like, it takes a lot of time to travel to the point that you see there. Like, you see the wall traveling of the projectile, so I didn't see it as too problematic. Clown, like they changed a lot of stuff. I'm gonna be really short on this. Like basically they buffed the haste and they nerfed the Indered. A little consideration, like I feel that many problems of these are on the not change they did with the haste and in their stacking with each other. Like at the beginning, like a few months ago, like they spotted a patch where the max value of haste and the max value of Indered had to go through. So you couldn't stack Indered, you couldn't stack haste, and like many people complained about that because but you cannot create fun builds in this way anymore. But I actually think that it's becoming a problem. Like I think that this clown rework tra parentheses between parentheses. Sorry, I mixed it in English. Like is showing all the limits that not going for the change are doing. Because like this clown, like already base kit is basically going, like the activation of the antidote, that is basically the one that makes you go faster, is instant almost, like only 1 second. So basically you are a perma bloodlust free killer. And it also stacks with a perk that is really used on clown, like rapid brutality. So I saw some people saying, oh, but the clown got nerfed because of the Indered. Not that clown got buffed because of the haste, and like in a really unhealthy way. Like it's a killer that goes perma bloodlust free, like with just spamming a button, and on top of that, like you can also give Indered on command. I don't think it's good. I don't. Maybe they were doing it because in this way, like the clown would have more map mobility. They are trying to address this problem for many killers, like the lack of mobility. Many killers recently had the tools to go around the map as fast as they can. Like Kaneki is one perfect example, but even Springtrap, Vecna with the buff and the fly. Like I think they were attempting something like that with clown as well, but. In chase, it's too oppressive. Like, I think the clown... At this point, I would just revert the killer. Because even if clown is a hard topic, because like, I don't think he's a fun killer to play against. And like, I can see where nerfing the Indered to buff the haste could come from. Because like, they want people to use the whole kit and not only one part of the kit on this killer. But I think that... this is not okay. Like I think that this is too oppressive, not engaging, not fun, and like it creates the opposite problem where using only the yellow battle is a lot better than using both battles again. So I will go back with these or like try to change some numbers like the activation time of the antidote. Also, the add-ons were changed according to these changes. I think that Pig is the best improvement in the PTB. Like, there are many people who are saying like, oh, but they keep buffing the ambush by trying to make the Pig stronger and more appealing instead of addressing their main problems. That is basically the traps. But like, what do you want to change of the traps? Like, if you make the traps being basically easier at killing people, like it will be another problem. Like, no, I already ate tombstone a lot. Like, if you make the trap a sort of tombstone with included ways of start, like already the trap is a sort of tombstone because like if you choose to commit only the person, like they are gonna die because they don't have the time to remove the trap, and like if the teammates pop just a single generator, like the only chance is that they go for a 5 gens run and then find the hatch. I don't think that it's super easy to actually buff the traps without working these in some way. But I think that the ambush changes instead are really fun. Like she is becoming more and more an IQ killer. And to play as, at least she felt really smooth. Like I enjoyed it. Like I'm even curious to try here on live servers. Like I saw some add-ons actually being super fun to play with. But even base kit, she felt really, really, really good. So I think that the pig is one of the most positive changes of this PTB. The knight, they have good intentions, but it looks like the knight is kind of powerless at the moment because the standard spawn too fast. So basically the survivors remove the standard really, really fast, especially with the jailer. That basically the main goal of the jailer is to waste people more time. So it removes a sort of a macro from the killer to make the sandwich playstyle better. But at the same time, and that's actually something that they didn't want to improve in any way. Like they changed the night months ago exactly for this reason. Like they don't want the killer to be only drop a guard to win the chase, or to create a situation that is a lose-lose for the survivor. So I think that the best change they did is that they made the call to arms partially based it. But I also, from what I got, especially from Nightmares, like Pixie, like the standard response too fast, like the killer is barely playable in this condition. Like I think that the only standard that you should keep with that duration is the assassin, because usually the assassin is the guard that has the hit, because it's the faster guard. But Carnifex and Jailer, I think, are fine with the old standard spawn. Actually, the Carnifex is the one with the highest standard spawn, because they buffed it. But like, I think the Jailer should be increased as well. At least from what I got from experience of the night players, like Pixie. They only had another change in how the turn rate limit works. Like I heard Oni mains saying that it felt like not the smoothest experience you can do with this killer. Again, like I will listen more to Oni players, but they are trying to find a way to make actually the Oni having the 180th base kit without like having that over cap that they put in the live servers. Actually no cap at all. That basically made a lot of people like over flicking, and kind of hard to maneuver for some people. To be honest, like I saw many actually adapting to that, so I don't know they keep changing this. Like you can do like, okay, this is the thing, it's not capped, like we stay with this, but like I think that keep changing the stuff, to keep changing the muscle memory of every player, I think it's not gonna super help. In this PTB, Dead by Daylight introduced a new survivor item. This is becoming a little problem because like many people don't find it really engaging, because like basically the main goal of this item is not making the other side seeing anything, and like it's also creating some issues in accessibility with the muffled sounds. Like it does some visual bugs with the flashbangs. It does like some situation where like you can't legit see anything with the eerie add-on. And I think, especially in combo with the rarest Fog Vial. I appreciate that they are trying to introduce new gameplay element to the survivor loop, but it's most likely the least entertaining, engaging, and interactive tool that they could introduce. So I don't know what they can do with this. Like maybe you can use it only to remove the scratch marks and getting a sort of iron wheel for a bit. Like instead of being something that actually affects the visibility of the other side, like it can be like a drink you take, and like at that point, like you're gonna be easily trackable. But like at least if the killers can sense, like you can still see in front of them, like they can still track the survivor, you know? Would it be the most fun and interactive item in the game? Most likely no, because like it's just getting 2 pairs in an item. But I think that if this thing has to go through, like it's healthier than like completely negating the visibility to the other side, and actually reducing the sounds with a really obnoxious sound effect. Survivor item key rework. Like I think this is the best thing of the PTB, together with the big changes, because like they made the key basically being a base kit bond, and I think it's a good thing, because like it can help a lot of players. Like you can save perk in your kit that you usually go for in solo queue to run a key, so you have knowledge of what your teammates are doing. I'm not sure about the skeleton key, like basically increasing only the range and the time of this aura reading, because like a bit of this is something that is mainly useful to solo queue. So at this point I would make standard the duration of the skeleton key, and like what I will change is the rarity of the items that you find in a chest. Like you can make like you with the broken key, like you don't find items. I'm fine with this. With the dull key, like you find a rare item. Maybe with the skeleton key, like you find a rare item with a max rare add-on, or with the 2 add-ons, 1 rare and 1 common. It can be a bit of problem, like that thing that you're gonna find is a commodious, but like I don't think that in that case the problem is gonna be the key, but in that case the problem is the commodious that should be addressed. So the key is still able to open the hatch. Like the main new things are that you have aura reading on teammates, and that you instant lock a chest, that your teammates can rummage through the chest, so you're not gonna negate them to get the value from the chest. And like that the item that you find in the chest is of rare rarity. I actually really like this thing. Like it's a really cool change to the key. About the add-ons, like I think that this is not super useful, because like the time to channel a key like be reduced. Like you usually don't take too much to channel a key. Increase the duration of the auras is fine. The obsession yourself both see each other auras at all times with a unique wedding ring, and decrease your chances of being the killer of obsession. Like this is the one of your ideas. And then they made the blood ember basically being object of obsession. So you both see each other aura, so the killer knows that you have this aura. The aura reveal time is reduced by 6 seconds, so with the skeleton kills, it's gonna be like only 4 seconds. And the base kit at least. And like with this add-on, like also you reduce the number of charges by 2. So you have only 4 charges if you are using the skeleton key or the broken key. Okay changes, so like I think that this is still really strong, but I mean, like in this case, like at least the killer can see you as well. Like it doesn't change that basically the aura reading can be stronger on the survivor side, but like some killer can benefit of that as well. So it's not gonna be universally useful. Like if you are against a nurse, good luck getting value from that. Survivor item rework map. Like I like this for the most part. Basically, they made it like windows of opportunity the item, or like visionary the item. Some people may put it in comparison with or more than visionary, like boon illumination the item. Some people put it in comparison with deja vu, but like this item actually is useful to find gems in general. So I think that. Illumination fits more also because while you are revealing auras, like you can also use the item button to create a beam of light that allows people to see the generators in the area, and also the survivors are going to see the beam of light from the distance as well. So this is going to be useful also to help the work team at finding the goals, finding all the generators. So I like this part more. I'm not super enthusiastic about this part because, like, basically, I wasn't running maps or to find pallets. It can be a good change, especially for new players and people who like to play with.
Welcome to the Jane Romero Show.
Thank you so much, Luli. And yeah, like I think that the item is decent, but not super useful. Like, at least in this case, like it's basically mainly useful to people who use it to run a Windows of Opportunity and want to run another path instead of Windows of Opportunity. Map item add-ons, like this is my main problem with it, like the maps that were used mainly by people to find the totems, especially during a meta where blood favor is really common and like it's one of the most oppressive add-ons, not add-ons, experts. Like the way of finding totems with maps is only linked to a very rare add-on, and even the most rare map or the event map are not gonna help with it anymore. I don't know. Like at the very least, like I would decrease the rarity of these to uncommon again, and but like I think that it should be base kit at least for these two kind of maps. Like I don't think that removing the totem tracking is a good idea, even if it's a lot more accurate than before, and like you can see totems like in a bigger range for a longer time. But I'm not a super fan of like making these useful for totems only with a very rare add-on, also because like you remove a synergy with the totem builds that could be like inner strength, like boon builds, and like these are already builds that are a bit rare. Like I know that the boon are really strong, but like you don't see like stuff like circle veins it's nowadays. And like I repeat, even a perk like inner strength, or like you are going to make people going around the map to find that, or like I don't know, like I would honestly, the bare minimum is reducing the rarity of these. The the best like I can expect is that it's gonna be base kit in at least the rare event maps. They buffed some perks like Insidious, okay, like I wish it was a full rework, but actually they like the meme of Insidious Baba, even if it's completely useless, and that it's a bit, you know, anti-intuitive as design, consider that they said more times that they are not fans of camping. Hubris, I don't really agree with this buffed exposed effect, because I don't think that a perk that rewards you for stance of the other side like is actually healthy for design, but like we go again in the range of like this is not healthy, but it's not strong at the same time, like the difference between healthy and strong like should be spoken about in my opinion. So like I repeat, I don't think that like having exposed effect on a stance of the other side is really healthy, especially in combination with some builds, especially on some killers. Like I'm not a big fan of this perk lasting 30 seconds, but at the same time, like Vigil exists, is still broken as it is, as it's actually bugged, it's stackable, like so. Consider that the Spring Burst Vigil is in the meta, like people are not gonna realize what I mean with this being unhealthy. Then when Vigil is gonna be addressed, maybe if some Kaneki players with Enduring are gonna start running these or similar stuff, like topics are gonna change. Dragon's Grip cooldown got nerfed. This is gonna increase a lot the Gen Kick meta, especially with the new follow blind. Scourge Enhancement Trick, it's kinda nice. I tried it a bit, but like it's too RNG based and basically makes it worth it, especially in combo with the Jagged Compass, but at the same time you have to be a killer woods a lot. So some killers is not really effective, and then Overwhelming Presence got reworked. Some people say that it's a nerf, but I think it's a really good buff, because basically this perk gives you aura reading every time a survivor gains exhausted in a 32 meters radius from you. It has only 25 seconds cooldown, and like in combination with a perk like the one of Vecna, that gives you exhaustion when you interact with the birds. I cannot have the name in mind right now, but I hope you get what I mean. Actually, I can check it really fast. I like to do these videos like indirect.
Hurry it up, you gutless.
Line with
birds.
touch, anyway. Indirect commentary. Okay. So I think that this perk can give it good value. Also, exhausting perks are super meta. It's also true that like usually when someone uses an exhausting perk, like you can see them, but it's also true that this perk works also if you give exhaustion to them, and like it can work also, for example, with Mindbreaker. Like with Mindbreaker, basically you can be really defensive with your free gen. Like again, like there are many things that have synergy with the free gens at the same time when they say that they don't really like free gens being a thing. Whatever. But like this is gonna help a lot in builds that actually give exhaustion with stuff that are in remote. Like it can be useful for a killer like Singularity, it can be useful like with perks like Mindbreaker, it can be useful with perks like Languid Touch. It's not gonna be a super problem. Franklin Demise like increase the aura reading range. But like nowadays it doesn't cause dropped items to lose charges over time. Many people complain because like they saw Franklin as the counter to really strong magic hits with the stick, tick, and syringes. I see the point. I also see the point of like why they went for this change. I think it's mainly because of how they are reworking the items with the charges actually being numbers and like not the bar that we see at the moment. And I think though that these are to go through once they nerfed actually toolbox. and some stuff from medkits. Like I don't think that medkits in general have to be over nerf, but the Eerie and the very rare add-on have to go like for medkits, like that's without any doubt. And then at the same time, like toolboxes, as I said before, are still broken. Potential energy got a really good buff, no longer requires a minimum time spent repairing to activate, and also the conversion is direct, so it's not like 1.5 charges for one token. So it's actually really, really good, and it can break free gens in an even more effective way. So I kind of like this change from the survival point of view. I don't know if it's problematic because like you have a lot of killers who have also easy time giving the first hit. And like Kaneki, for example, like potential energy is almost useless. But this perk, or like even against Singularity, which are really good as 3-gen holder, or like kills with real mobility and stuff like that, like potential energy is still a risky perk. So right now, I don't see the problems behind the potential energy. We're gonna see if people are gonna start playing this perk. I have my doubts because like the community is really used to some perks being kind of the usual meta perks, so like stuff like conviction, I think have more potential if this is gonna stay as it is in the right server to become a new meta perk, because like anti-slag usually is one of the strongest part of meta builds. Any means necessary got buffed, like you raise up pallets a lot faster. I don't know if this can create some potentially problematic situations for a killer. I'm not really sure about that. But, to be honest, like at the moment it sounds fine. Like it's a little buff. It should just feel smoother. But honestly, I don't see a possible problem connected with a 1 second shorter time to raise up a pallet. Better Together now has no range limit and increase the duration of the survivor reading to 30 seconds. Like Better Together, like it shows every survivor teammate aura once that a teammate goes down while you are working on generator. It's a decent change, I think, and it can help in solo queue, of course. Like this is usually a perk that you run in solo queue, not SWF like us, and you wouldn't have in live. But the Steel Sight buff felt actually really good. I enjoyed playing it. I feel like if a killer over mind games a tile, maybe Steel Sight can help at countering that kind of double back into double back into double back into moonwalk. But also it's a really good perk to have awareness of the map, like finding generators if you are playing a looting build, like especially with the new key. Like I think the Steel Sight is actually buffed in a decent way. It's still gonna be like niche as a perk, but it's one of those perks that I like to play, and honestly the buff felt good. I'm gonna test it more once the live servers have the new patch, like to see how effective it can also be in a chase. Build to last, like now, like you can rebuild an item faster, like not 12 seconds in the locker, but only 8 seconds. So they are basically buffing items. I think that this stuff had to be done like with after the nerf to toolboxes and medkits, I repeat. Appraisal like now allows you to rummage twice on the same chest and like increases the number of tokens to 4. I like it. Like it's one of those perks that actually are also underrated in my opinion. Also, underrated because like looting is underrated. But at the same time, it can backfire like if you waste a lot of time at opening chests. Like I think that opening chests is something strategic that you should do in some particular moment of the game, or like if you happen to be close to a chest. But if you start going all around the map to look for chests, like in that case it can backfire. But even a really good item like actually can make a difference, and especially with the new key, because I noticed that opening a chest with a key like allowed you to find only rare items also with appraisal, and like you have a really good possibility of finding this good item. Also, it works in synergy with the new Streetwise, that doesn't extend the efficiency to 25%, I think it was before, and it was also stackable. Now, it basically bars the items you find from the chest. Like, this can be good, like, if you are a looter, because I repeat, toolboxes have to go. Like, I found a Commodious with Streetwise, and, like, it lasted a lot. Like, basically more than half of a generator, and I don't know how healthy this is. Like, you know, it's RNG, but, like, it removes even more of game sense and game plan from the killer side. And I repeat, like, it's not a problem of the perk. Like, I think the perk is fantastic in this way. I think it's mainly a problem of how some items work in the game right now. Especially the toolboxes and then the medkits on some extent. Detective's Hunch got buffed to do aura reading to 20 seconds. This was made because the maps no longer track the revealed objects, so basically they had to make the perk itself stronger by itself. And Deja Vu, basically they only changed that the map no longer tracks the revealed generators. That honestly, if you have Deja Vu, like, you're gonna see those 3 generators all the time anyway, like, you don't need the map. Like, even if you're on the other side of the map, like, you're gonna see those 3 generators. I think it's only in the case, like, after the region changes. But, like, at that point, like, you have enough information with the generators you have to work on, that, like, I don't think that the synergy could be a problem, but I think it's mainly because of how the new maps actually work. Then you have some quality of life changes that are actually good, like the custom games and spectator mode are going to be a good thing for DBD League, Champions of the Fog, and also content creators with charity events and events of any kind. So that's a big plus. Presets, players have access to a new preset system, like you have now till 7 slots for both cosmetics and builds. Also, you can rename the presets. Players can use a drop-down to choose the one they want to use. And loadout and cosmetics presets remain separated. So I think that this is actually a really good start. Hooks, when only 2 survive. This is a really good change. When only 2 survivors remain, letting 2 survivors to struggle skill checks pass without any input will immediately skip to sacrifice. This was done mainly because people were complaining of how you couldn't give a notch chance to your teammate, or how after this made that ending situation longer for no reason at all, because like the teammate basically has no reasons to go for the nuke, so they shortened up that kind of waiting situation. This is good. And they are adding a tile to, I think, only Garden of Joy. I don't know if also Greenwheel, based on the Walking Dead. So this is cute. People wanted a full map, but considering that it's only survival chapter, like I think that already having this new tile is good stuff. So this is the full analysis of this. Like, some stuff looks problematic. Like, I saw people like being really dramatic about this. Like, for some stuff I understand it. Like, conviction is really strong. Like, I don't see this perk staying as it is. Maybe they're gonna make it like only 1 use per trial. But even only that use for trial is gonna be really strong. Like, it's gonna create some situation of losing. I think that maybe they are gonna add the percentage of recovery that you need to pick yourself up in that case. but like this perk is the one that scares me the most. Like I saw people scared by these, and I think that if they are able to find a way to address the situation of the fast word save, I think that the perk is gonna be fine. And then, like, I don't know, like, there are some problems in the design of some of these perks that I think, like, we are entering in a range of a new design stuff that risk to be so problematic by itself that they are gonna either be nerfed to be useless, or either stay and like being scary problematic, and like conviction I repeat, like conviction is the perk that sounds scarier between all the perks, or like you're gonna have perks like this one that sounds, oh, you know, like you give endurance to everyone, but on the paper like already feels like bad. And then there are other changes, like the clown changes, that honestly have to be completely reverted, unless they are able to find a good balancement that push people using both the battles in chase. Like, this is what I have to say. Like, I think that Dead by Daylight has a huge potential, but at the same time, I'm a bit scared that like they risk to hurt themselves, like if they don't pay attention to all these little details that can hurt on the long way. Like, to be honest, like they showed that they can revert a lot of stuff in Italy. Like they reverted the artist add-on changes, they reverted the xenomorph changes, they reverted, I don't agree with it, the ace cylinder not stacking. I think that they had to go for that. Also because like this is going to be one of the main problems with these changes they are attempting to do with the clown. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, like I think that this is the main thing. I really hope that they are going to find a solution to this, because like many things on this patch, to be honest, are also really interesting. Like I don't want to see The Walking Dead being ruined by its with this launch. Like a lot of people who waited for it, and I hope that they are gonna balance the new perks and like some other changes that they made. But most importantly, like I think that they have to start looking at some stuff that is problematic and stood problematic for too long as we are speaking. Like toolboxes still being as they are, like stick bottle. Syringes, like all this stuff has to go before like you nerf stuff like Franklin the Mice, because like if you go only for a change on one side, like yes, in that case like you're gonna bring some us versus them situation, because like this is a game that needs balancement on both sides happening at the same time. Then who knows, like maybe they are actually going to change syringe and sticks at the same time, or toolboxes at the same time. Like they are not saying it to make people actually go to use all of these during these days, because like you know, it's the DBD community like, oh my god, this is gonna be nerfed, like we have to rush to use all of this because otherwise we're not gonna be able to use it anymore. Like you know how they are. So maybe they are actually doing it, but they didn't speak of it to not make people use all of this stuff. So thank you so much for watching this really long video. It's really long, especially for a no-camera video, but it couldn't be otherwise, because like it's a really long patch. Like I wanted to give a really complete feedback and sharing my way of thinking of how I consider some of this stuff actually unhealthy. I'll see you really soon on Twitch. I plan some little changes in schedule, but I also plan to still stream Dead by Daylight, of course, stay tuned for Dead by Daylight content. Love you.